Hello, on today's The Villa View, we're doing something a little bit different to our usual discussion show on a Sunday. There's not been much news going around Aston Villa in the past week, apart from the news that Dr. Tony Z has passed his fit and proper persons test and is set to be announced as Aston Villa owner in the next few days. On that note, it's been reported that Roberto Di Matteo will get a £35 million war chest this summer to get Villa back to the Premier League, plus any money he makes on players he lets go this summer. So that leaves us with exactly 35 million because really, who would want to buy some of our players because they're a load of rubbish? Who would want to buy Johnny Lescott and so on? So, Roberto Di Matteo, here are 5 players we feel that you should sign this summer for our club. The first player I think this summer we should try and get hold of is Tom Bradshaw from Walsall. The 23-year-old has been a vital cog in Walsall's side for the past 2 seasons since signing for £50,000 from Shrewsbury Town. He scored 17 goals last season in their promotion push, and he scored 17 goals the season before as he helped Walsall out of the relegation zone into a mid-table position. He's a bargain price as well. I think we could get hold of him fairly cheaply and he'd be a great creative outlet for us. He's quite capable of getting the crosses in the box and he's quite capable of getting on the end of the crosses as well. I think he'd be a brilliant player to link off Rudy Gestede. He's got a lot of pace and power. He's only 6 foot, but I think he's still got a lot about him. I think he'd be a brilliant asset for us as well. And you're looking at the sort of player that's grown through the ranks as well. He started his career at Aberystwyth Town, ended up at Shrewsbury Town. He's at Walsall now, and I think Aston Villa would be a great step for him. He can grow as the club grows again, and I think by the time we get back to the Premier League, if we do, I think he'd be a very, very important player for us. He's already a Welsh international as well, so it shows that he's got the pedigree even though he's in League One. I think we can't go wrong with a cheeky offer for him. We need a new goalkeeper desperately because Brad Guzan does stuff like this.
Oh, that was dreadful by Guzan. Willian! It's a gift for Chelsea.
For that reason, I think we should be signing David Button. The former Spurs youth player has been a vital part of Brentford's side as they've grown up to be a strong championship side. It's been rumoured this summer that Brentford are looking to sign a new goalkeeper in Daniel Bentley from Southend, so I think that we could easily go in for David Button. He's been linked with the club before and he's one of the most experienced goalkeepers in the Football League. A leader on the pitch and off the pitch, he's a role model and he's a brilliant keeper, very agile. His distribution is first class as well. I think some of the chances he's created for Brentford in the past few years from his kicks and quick thinking has been superb, and off the line he's quick as well. I think we can't go wrong with him and he'd be a solid keeper for us, even to push us into the Premier League as well. It's been reported in the past by the likes of Daily Mail that we could offer about £1 million for him and Brentford would be quite happy to accept that. So I think there's nothing wrong in going for a bid for David Button. He'll understand the stature of the club and he'll understand what it takes to play for Aston Villa, and I don't think we can go wrong with a bit of championship experience as well. Whenever we've signed players from the lower leagues before, we haven't really got the cream of the crop, of the best ones available. Now, one of the best ones that is available at the moment is Gillingham's Bradley Dack. The 22-year-old has played at Gillingham this whole career, but the season just gone was absolutely phenomenal for him as Gillingham pushed right up the table. He scored 13 goals and laid on 10 goals in 40 appearances, and the midfielder would be brilliant for us. Fans rave about him in League One, and I think he can make the step up. At the age of 22, he's got it all going for him. You can't rule out these sort of players. I know we've got 35 million to spend, but we don't want to waste that sort of money we've got. He'd be good value for money, and if it does go wrong, it's only a few million we're wasting, not 10 million. We're not going to be able to go out there and pay 10 million for midfielder because simply we're a championship side now and we have to get used to that. Therefore, I think we need to look at the likes of Bradley Dack because they will be box-to-box players that will put their heart on their sleeve and play for an Aston Villa shirt. The sort of players that will grow with the club for the next few years or so and potentially be a top prime player by the time they're 27 and potentially still with Villa, you'd hope. I keep mentioning it, but we need players that are going to wear their hearts on their sleeves. That's why I'm thinking of Michael Dawson for our next player. We've been linked with him a long time ago. I remember when I was younger, we were linked with him when he was still a Nottingham Forest player, but since then he went on to Spurs and had a very long stint there before moving to Hull 2 years ago. He was in the Hull side that was relegated a few years ago, yes, but he was also in the Hull side that got promoted as a solid defender this season just gone. A captain on and off the pitch, as I say, a leader, experienced pro, the sort of player that can lead and marshal an awful defence such as Aston Villa's in the past. And I think he'd be so good for us because he is the experienced pro that everyone cries out for. But I've never seen him put in a bad shift. He'll always put his heart on his sleeve and he'll always put in a top performance for your team. That's unlike the likes of Johnny Lescott and Mick Richards, where we've seen nothing but the lack of effort. We'll see a lot of effort from somebody like Michael Dawson. It might be tough to get hold of him though. He's going to be promoted now with Hull into the Premier League, and I think it's his one last chance to play in the Premier League. Getting hold of him may be tough, but if we can get hold of him, I think it'd be a great capture for us. Final man I think we need to get hold of is the man that did this before.
A goal he deserves. We may as well enjoy it.
And it's not the reason why I want Peter Crouch. It isn't so I can see him go and do the robot. I think that Peter Crouch would be a brilliant addition for us. He did used to play for Villa. He was around about one season or so, but let's face it, he really didn't stick around for long because he was poorly treated by the club. Despite that, though, the fans have always had a good relationship with Peter Crouch, and I think he'd really offer us something. He might be 35 years of age now, though, but he's a brilliant outlet. He's brilliant with his feet, and he's also brilliant with his head, being so tall, and I think he'd give us a second outlet other than Rui Gestede. I can't honestly see Lubor Kozak staying around. I think that someone like Peter Crouch would be very good to get on the end of crosses from the likes of Jack Grealish. Now, Stoke haven't really played him much, and it's been reported for some time now that Peter Crouch is looking to leave the club. He's 35, he wants first-team football. I'd imagine he's got a lot of demons at Villa Park still as well, though. Last season, he appeared 11 times in the Premier League, mainly off the bench or so. So I think that we could offer him a good contract length to see out the rest of his career, and I think he'd be a brilliant asset for us, on and off the bench, if possible, starting as well. And I just do think that Peter Crouch would be brilliant for us. And he actually puts in a good shift for someone that's so tall as well. I think he'd be a brilliant asset, and he'd only add to what we've already got up front as well. I hope you enjoyed this Something Different video this week. The discussion show will hopefully return next week, so get in touch if you want to get involved in that over the next coming weeks on Twitter. Follow us, TheVillaView_ on Twitter. Make sure you drop us a like on this video, and also comment below. What do you think of the players we suggested? Who do you think we should be signing this summer? Make sure you're letting us know on Twitter, and on here, and on Facebook and Instagram. Till next time, that's the Villa View.
I'm going to give 3 reasons as to why I think Jack Grealish should stay at Aston Villa Football Club. The first reason is quite simply because he is a Villa man. I mean, Jack has grown up supporting and watching Aston Villa. You know, he's had a season ticket. His family have always had season tickets, and he's been with the academy from a very young age.